Today, big news from you, Buzz, that Angus Crichton has re-signed with the Roosters on a 2-year deal worth $8.1 million. Now, this is...
1.6.
Sorry, 1.6, sorry.
Yep.
This is huge news, though, isn't it, Buzz? Because given the circumstances where he was at a few months ago to where he is right now, where the Roosters are, it's a huge signing.
Well, this has played out over the last 6 months, actually, before he actually put pen to paper today. At one stage, he looked like he was heading to Australian Rugby Union, but they pulled the offer at the last moment. He was struggling. He was off the back of a really difficult year. He was diagnosed with bipolar last year. And then they made a play for David Fifita. And he actually signed their backflip, but Angus became disgruntled over that.
Yeah, so he wasn't happy about that, was he?
No, he wasn't. Even though Robbo said at the time there is room for both. I remember when the story broke that Fifita had signed. Robbo
there's two back rollers, right?
Yeah, well, there are. But then Fifita was getting more than Angus was getting, and he wasn't happy. Then he's burst into this barnstorming form, last 6 weeks, 8 weeks? And the money Roosters originally offered him has gradually gone up. Today they finally reached an agreement for 2 years.
Yeah. I think he's been the best back row on the comp for the last six, 8 weeks, and he deserves all the credit because you're right, Buzz. He was basically gone. He was gone to Montpellier in France at one point as well, rugby union in France. And he's just worked hard and he's got himself back and he's played up. And he was so good in Origin last week. I hate to say it as a Queenslander.
He was phenomenal.
He terrorised Ali Cherry Evans a week ago in Origin. And he's just been playing fantastic footy.
Gordy, it's been some turnaround for Angus, hasn't it?
Absolutely. 28 years of age, you'd think as a back rower, as a forward, I think you settle a lot more. I think the next 4 years will be his best 4 years. There's no doubt. So by the time he's 32, I reckon he knows his game. You can see he's comfortable in the way that he's playing. His game, he's a mountain. He's got his mojo back, that's for sure. Compared to, I reckon he's always had this ability, but the consistency is something that he has never had in his game.
I think it's a really good marriage. Crichton, Roosters, they stuck by him so loyal, so solidly last year when there were doubts whether he might even play football again.
But
that's why I'm saying he sure is, mate. That's his club, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If they're any chance, and the Roosters are on the way up, if they're any chance this year, this guy needs to be playing the way
it is really good for the Roosters, good timing for them. They are on a hot streak at the moment and are premiership contenders, but at the expense of the signing of Crichton, they lose Tupanua, who signs with the Bulldogs. Reedy, this is not good news for the Roosters, great news for the Bulldogs. He's a really good signing. Yeah,
and I think they'll play Viliame Kikau on one edge and Tilly Tupanua on the other. Jake Preston might move back to the bench or play as a lock. And I think it's a great signing for them because he's versatile, Tilly. He can play a bit in the middle as well. And he's got a relationship there with guys like Adam Hardigan and Travis Toomer, so he knows guys in the Dogs. And basically when the Angus situation evolved and changed, the club said to Tilly, look, go out and have a look at what's out there for you. Come back to us once Angus has made a decision. Angus made his decision today. Didn't waste any time. Manly were in for Tilly as well and we're really optimistic with him. But the Bulldogs have prevailed and he's another great signing for the Dogs, for a club that's on the up.
Thoughts, Buzz?
Look, it shows the Roosters are normal. They have a salary cap like everyone. And
hang on. Reedy's laughing.
No, I'm just laughing because you said he was on 8.1 million a bit earlier.
Do you want to get back there again? Do you want to highlight my mistakes? We've got to highlight real of yours, don't we?
Look, Gordy, you've been very heavy on the Roosters cap.
Well,
you have.
Hang on. Straight under the bus.
The gloves are on.
I've heard you on this show.
That's right.
Yeah.
So me, as a fan of the game, I think like all the other fans, how do they have that roster? And
well, I'm telling you now by letting Tupanua go.
So you want to pick the fight.
No,
does Uncle Nick say, I give him a premiership roster every year? Name every other club that has that every year. You tell me the clubs that have that.
But this isn't about the Roosters cap.
You just made it about me. And I'm just saying, every year they get a premiership winning cap. I'm never going to walk away from saying the Roosters have the best team, and I don't know how they keep all those players every year.
Well, Tupanua's leaving.
And I think like every other team in the competition.
Joey Manu's leaving.
Yes.
Joe Swally.
Well, it's finally caught up then, Buzz.
But can we get back
so
to
I might hit my words next year then, and let's see who replaces those guys.
Come with the genie back in the bottle, Buzz.
It will be interesting.
So it's funny that there's a guy at the Titans on $1 million and they go after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to have some sort of money.
Well, how's it funny?
I find it hilarious. The Roosters way.
Can we go? Start a play, can't finish. Rudy Martin, Awonga, Nita Wase.
Yes.
Well, off the back of what we were just talking about, the Roosters a chance of snagging him mid-season.
Huge chance, Braith. He'll go to the Olympics with the Sevens team. They lodged papers for Mark today with the NRL. The NRL's got 10 days to approve them. I think they will, and I think when he gets back from the Olympics, he'll be with the Roosters.
What are the conditions ready on this signing?
Well, there's some conditions around it to make sure it doesn't become a precedent. So basically they've said during the life of this contract, the 2-year deal, he can't play Sevens again. So they're basically saying this is a one-off. And the second thing is they basically said he can't have played professional rugby league before going to rugby, just to prevent players jumping over and having a short stint in rugby then coming back. So they've said that can't apply or that can't happen. So that's sort of a couple of the rule stipulations around this deal. But as I said, I expect them to get the clearance to have him play.
Excuse my ignorance, but what position will he be playing for the Roosters?
I don't know, Bray.
Somewhere
on the outside back. He'll be a winger, I think.
With Joey Manu out, with Billy Smith gone for the season, Jennings in New South Wales, I think we'll find they might give him a whack at centre.
Yeah, I reckon he's more of a winger, Braith. Buzz, I think he'll start as a winger because they've got Suaalii, he can play in the centres. I think they'll look to start him on the wing and see how he goes.